Welcome back to That's Nothing, and today I'm going to do another video that's similar to something else I've done with my city development series, but I'm going to call it My World. There's a video called My World, My Retrospective, but I'll figure out a better name for that for this episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through my channel and find my earliest videos that this world was ever featured in. I believe my earliest was a live stream. So let's go see if I can find that live stream. So this is
Okay.
so I have no idea what happened, but
So today,
we'll skip ahead a little bit and welcome to my world. You can see that's different. That's my brick vault behind my house.
that's totally there.
There's the guest house from early in my world that you now see in my back from the dead where the sand now is. There's the vault or the secret mine entrance.
Okay.
There's several views. Yeah, you can see the old school streaming for YouTube gaming. That brick building was not here anymore. That used to the library. That bathroom's over there. The gold hotel is completely covered. And that building's still covered in sand. And that's his first appearance.
Is correct. And
Alright, so I need to keep looking through my channel history so I can find the next one. Next Minecraft video I did here in my world. So now we're on this part. I'm gonna just mute myself. So this is the first time anyone saw James Island Jr. in my world at all. Let's skip ahead. So there's a two terraces that used to stand across from my brick pyramid building. And the concept is I'm explaining what happened during the Blitz, but that's stunning. You can still see all the old sandstone paths and all that. The old bridges, you can see them in some places still. Yeah, that's something back then I also hadn't figured out where to put the logo, and I didn't shrink it at that point. And then the next one I do have to mute because there is, I accidentally put copyright music in, so I have to mute that out. Right. So here's my next one, the Victorian terraced house. In the background there's copyright music, so that's why I'm not playing it again. But in this episode you actually get to see a little bit more of James Island Jr. Especially Mom's house, because that's more of the biggest thing you're going to notice here. Since this and the Georgian Island episode, Georgian house video are kind of similar, I may just I'll give you a little glimpse of the Georgian one, but this was also back in the day when I used to do the celebration thing. The bone arrow. Right, let's move along now. Now, actually, I just noticed I streamed these. So, one time you can still see these videos. They were live at one time, and I'm laying the foundations again. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip it a little bit. Because we're basically seeing the same view as the terraced house video. Or the Victorian one. So this one's actually 3 stories, it looks like. A little bit bigger, actually. You can see back on my track over there used to be 2, and the bridges were 2. Over here. That was probably my fault. And there's the back door, actually. I was still getting used to streaming at that point, so understand that I was commonly fiddling with settings. And you actually just saw Sylvia Bridge there, and it looked kind of different. Yeah, Mom's house looks different. Alright, let me find my next one. So here's the next one. And this one's still kind of recognizable because it's in my Back in the Dead world, but it's my Georgian house, or Georgian mansion. Again, you can still see it. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Although actually, I may be wrong looking at it now. Well, maybe not. And by the way, in reality, I shouldn't have used brick. I probably should have used like concrete or clay if I had concrete at that point. Also, I did not remember in Dino Telemann that many torches. Looks like Mike from the Monsters Inc. So it turns out my next couple of videos are all in a row. I finally started putting them into playlists. So there is actually an episode I am going to skip because it was about something else that was not related to YouTube, to Minecraft at all, but I just put it there. So this one was in a stream. Basically, the way I'm recording this right now is the way I stream, so now you've seen this video quite a bit, especially when I first started doing the comparison for height and stuff. But this is the new museum and the hotel building, which is now just a whole museum, and actually I rebuilt this part recently. But this is what the inside used to look like at one time. Some of the stuff I tried to reconstruct to the best of my memory. Whoops. I still like the menu that way better, I don't know why. We didn't have concrete yet. That's changed direction. Now this down here will look quite different. I'm going to pause right here for a sec. This got altered several times. And now you probably know there's stuff all over the place. There's a table and all that stuff down here now. There's the Iron Age and Iron House. What? Some stuff I put back, like the crafting table's still there. Or sorry, the enchantment table's still there. Little did I know I'd be putting a door right there. That one still exists. Donor list. I rescued that one. Those signs still exist. That exhibit still exists. Not its complete form, but that doesn't exist. Oh, I got those wrong. Dang it. There used to be skylights in the museum, or on the top floor of the museum, and I just noticed I didn't have another portal yet. So this is really, really early on. And will actually tell me if I go around the corner here. Because we'd be able to see it over here in the distance when we fly up. Yes, I did a pretty good reconstruction. This is the recently rebuilt hotel section. Whoops. That kind of miss. It's not interesting to see what was in my inventory at one time. Nope, I haven't built another portal yet, so this is really early on. Celebration thing. I'm just going to go ahead and skip over this. So here's the next one, the dig site video. With what's left of that one terraced house I kept. That's back when the Georgian house's remains were still down there. And this is one of the first times I ever did a proper story like thing. But I'll explain it later. Probably to tell you that the farmer who owned the property who found all this brick was coming up. And hence why you can see all this here. Which led to the investigation. And believe it or not, there is a sort of mistake in this video. Sometimes archaeology will not dig up everything that's there. I just did. So I could show you what the remains could look like. I didn't rinse these out later on, but I think this video is still good enough where if I were to do the time, I could put them back. I think the water path is still there. Because I think I actually temporarily rebuilt it, I believe. I don't remember. So now we're on to demolishing the library building. And you can see my old castle over there. I still need to rebuild this, but yeah. It's basically boring, so I'm just going to skip ahead quite a bit. This is the first time the 9/11 thing actually appears, I believe, properly. There's the brick tower. Well, that's how my house got an expansion. There's a weird point where my house gained like an office extension, and then I later remove it. It's odd. That bed's still there, believe it or not. That bed isn't. I had to use this when I reconstructed my castle house because that was really hard. And then I even had to go back to the original source video to figure out what some might look like. It's interesting, for a while, this is what was just sitting in my world, was this. Now we're onto the tour, so I'll let myself do the touring. So another portal's here. It's the first time I ever got a proper world tour. That's no longer there. That's the secret emergency exit. Or not that part of the building. It still exists in other places, but here's where I missed the brick and the hopper, which I later removed. By the way, I have not used mycelium, but that's what the person I originally watched to build it used, so I put it there. There's my chest, which later disappeared. That was covered in sand at one time. Well, that still is. There's my, that's back when the path I actually used to leave down here, I believe. You go into the underground. That's changed. Nice cemetery. Now this is different because this has always changed. It's the main reason is due to beacons were not in the game at this point. So what I did is I sort of had it ready for a beacon, but it wasn't exactly ready. Those three are a 3x3 or a 9 diamond blocks for perfect for a basic level 1. Let me make sure I'm actually recording. Over here. I later removed the brick, and then what was left. And actually, this was the first time any of this over here appeared, I believe it or not. Unless I've lost some videos at some point. There's the old target practice target. It used to light up. I don't remember if I lit it up myself. And that's when the stream broke. That was probably the end of that stream, to be honest. Yeah. So then here's the next one. So there's the chest. I think I probably called this tour. I think I was actually talking about stuff. Yeah, my mine track, or my minecart track has, well, minecart, yes, but the tracks, or the rails have moved since back then. Basically, there was nothing in the chest, in other words. It's interesting to note that forest behind there actually caught on fire. I think I've told the story a few times, but by accident. But it used to be known as the Waterfall Forest until I finally got rid of it. That Sands logo was cool. That's one of the first times I actually used something predominantly not brick, sand, or wood, or brick either. Yeah, Mom's house used to be bigger and wasn't well designed at that point. Yeah, these brick staircases got removed, I believe. So you don't see them anymore. That bed's still there. Does that bridge still have two? No, not that the one, so it's finally shrunk. That terrace house is still here. Interesting. There's another portal that used to be right there, but I straightened that up later. There's the tomb that's still there, like always. The track's now missing. Or half the track's missing now. There used to be two, but there's one. There's the gold house when it used to sit. Actually, the way it currently sits. Yeah, Mom's house is not really well defined at that point. And there's when the fake boat used to still be there. Yeah, my mom had requested when I built that. Does she have a boat? So I obliged, but I didn't build like a sailboat. I built like a motorboat or something like that. There's the gold sunk boat. About this build coming up was only here for like this video, and then I took it down. But it's the wreck of the St. James. And basically there was treasure in it. It's basically the story it wrecked, and that don't exist anymore. This was before the dunes was built, so you're seeing this area in its very early state. I hadn't fixed the train over there where the TNT had blown up. This was back in the day when that hole, they used to cross that hole. See, I'd left the hopper still. So the hopper was supposed to suck something up. I think that's why I tossed the bottle on it. But that's when that bed used to be there. It's not there anymore. I think I later removed that dirt block. I don't know why it's taken me so long to finally get the brick taken off that building. I don't know why. And the phone's ringing. Nice. So I still haven't taken it off yet at that point. That's when my tracks will go over that. And that's where they go over now, but they used to take a longer way. Or maybe not. Maybe that's still an early version. No. It's modern. is actually the first time my world's ever really seen its modern form. That's changed a little bit. No idea what that was about. That's my lava burn someone to hell pit kind of thing. Glitch. Yeah, this one my house had that weird office extension. Here's my mine. This will look a little bit different. I've changed this a few times. This is his first appearance. And then we're going to probably the emergency. And I've just realized I built that horribly wrong in my other world. I need to fix it. And then here's the under of the building. Actually, I think this was still new at that point, so we may not see it in its complete form. Right, let's see. Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. Let's skip ahead a bit. So now we're up here. Oh, I hadn't put the bookcase in, that's why. Although that's the way it's currently set, so I wonder if this is sans. So here's all the ground, the whole thing. This has changed. There's an interesting story with down here. I don't know if we have it here yet, but let me see. And then finally started using potions. Oh, it's here. Right. But I'm going to explain the story. So what happens is one day I brought this into a building. I brought this tablet with me and I dropped it on the floor. It was in the case, but it broke. And what happens, it started insta-mining where it broke, and where that big area, where it's that whole big open area is, it basically made that little section, which I later reused to what you see here today. Now I'm actually going to pause it right here, right, because it's basically the end of this video. So this is when I finally demolished the Georgia mansion. I finally demolished it, and it's very long, so I'm just going to skip about 12 minutes in. Yeah, so I'm demolishing it now, and then I'll do another light tour, it looks like. Trying to find when the tour roughly starts. I had paused because back then you didn't get like a pause message. So there's the lands it then looked. Yeah, this is when I ripped out the sandstone steps. This is kind of part of that minimize error that I told you about. That's when I accidentally broke that time capsule. I'm going to change that up a little bit. Yeah. Just another time. Then actually I have to stop using this playlist for a bit because then it starts getting into my other builds that are not necessary. So the next time my world appeared is my Sands Casino tour video, which I believe is actually private. But this is the first time most people or myself, most people would have seen it. Actually, is this still private? Based on that, I've viewed it several times. It probably is. Yeah, and I was going to demolish it this time. Don't remember why, but probably some storyline that was never told. Basically, you're just seeing the sands that exist today, so we're just going to skip it. And then my next video is my 9/11 tribute, but I'm going to skip over that for a reason. Then let me see where I'm actually at. So here's my next one, which is with my Congrats Indians message. But when they had made it to the record or whatever, the World Series. And this is the first time you actually see my Lighthouse and the Lighthouse Tower and everything else over here, believe it or not. Including this bridge. I had torn down the brick wall at that point. Lost the office addition. And redstone was finally properly working. Shame the flat iron wasn't here yet. Or was it gone by this point? And there's my underwater messages. Then we had my what is this? My first world I found it. I don't know, infamously when this video still kind of is, you can still sort of see it. And this is what the world looked like. Again, I'm gonna warn you, I made this in a later version, so it's gonna look a little different. So I'm gonna show this is the future side of the stadium. Retrospective museum. Gold mine. So this is what the world looked like when I kind of first found it. Yeah, that's the weird graveyard site that I never really told you about. It's mostly memorialized now with beacons, but people don't know it that way. There's Mom's house's land. I bet I built on the river, infamously. Oh, that's the brick gold tower. And I'm gonna stop myself because when I start doing that stuff. Then it appeared on this episode, or on this last stream, when we finally had got the whoops, wasn't creative or survival mode on that one. So this was back when we got was this the concrete? No, I think this was the colored clays at that point. Maybe it was the concretes. I can't remember. Oh, this is when terracotta came. My bad, terracotta. So this is when we got the terracotta and we started building that thing that's now my the train station, which is now in the shulker boxes, but which are now in my Back from the Dead world. That's still really annoying, the way to turn yourself to do the tiles. That's why I don't do it in builds anymore. Although we got the colored beds now, I just noticed. So this is just like right before the update. Was this in this world? Yep. I can just tell it based I was giving myself blocks and stuff. Oh, nope. Skip that. That's in that world. Ah, here's a Minecraft update video. Now, this probably won't show much of my world, but you'll see some stuff. And by the way, by the time you see this video, it won't be 50 minutes. It'll be like maybe half an hour. So here's one. I built that weird brick building with the hot, cold floor thing. This is a very interesting retrospective. Here's where I'm rebuilding it, but I'm going to stop it there. Is this in this world? No. This is in this one. Then here's some photos. Most of this was actually for when I started to rebuild the museum and tried to rebuild that. So I'm just gonna. Then here's where the sands went up for auction, but or most of the building went up for auction. I didn't demolish everything. Did you notice that where it said like waiting approval? That's kind of funny. Are currently working there. Did you see that? It was kind of funny when I first read it back in the day. Yep, more archiving purposes, stuff like that. It's possible I could be skipping over it. What was that? This was a stream. Oops, no, it can't be. It must have been in it later on. There's the channel name change. Check that video out. There's some more. This will show some from my, Nope. Yeah, what I thought it was. And then it appears on the My World Retrospective. And at the end, I'm going to show you the corrected book. But this is just hidden in the basement, so I'm just going to sort of skip over it. Here's the map of my world video that this is also shown in. This is my most recent, but you're not going to see it any more than this. I'll just show you near the end when we're trying to figure out all the maps and stuff. When we're putting the map together. Might be able to hear the music in the background there when I turned it up, but that's it. And let me go back to Minecraft, and I'll show you the updated book. So here's the book. I'm gonna do a voiceover, but I'm not gonna do very much. Thanks to the government, James Museum, and the Nothing Nothing, and many others, this is the third book, so that's the archive number. This book's proper title is actually what was going to be originally called was My World Archive, or The History of My World by the author who wrote the first one. I'm gonna read off the changes. In the year of 2014-15, And if I look at my channel, it started in 2014, so it's probably 2014. A person known as the Nothing Nothing, or me, downloaded the game. This was his first world, and this is where I changed a little bit. Little did he know that this world would lead to him recording for YouTube. Let's see. So he decided to post a video on YouTube, his first secret base, Nova Sapphire. He then started live streaming, and then he live streamed this game and world. So that's his channel becoming popular. That's the same. Let's see. Here's where it changed. The next era was, here's one of the biggest changes. The next era was the bridge era. This era is known by all the bridges built. This era was mainly forgotten until last year, after I'd finished the book, when work was done at the Dad's House site, which is where the brick mansion and all that stuff had been built. Several documents were found, perhaps because the records were found in a basement, or it was in a basement level, but had been left in a chest or a safe or something like that. Until that point, it had thought that all files had been lost due to the fire. The bridges were heavily altered in the next era. The next era was known as minimized. This era was known for the shrinking bridges. And then here's the repeat. There's a change, but within the original text. There used to be a Dad's house, but that building was lost in a fire. This fire was the reason that many bridge documents are gone until last year, when some were found. To check on the last 2 pages on how. And that's when you scroll back to the. They did some archiving looking. The building was being used as a storage building. I think I originally said storage place, and caught fire. To this day, it is unknown what started this fire. Recent research at the site believes that it might have been arson. One other theory has come out that states that the building was struck by lightning and it blew a gas line. This was researched during the work, and this theory was semi-proven, but not completely. Records we have say a thunderstorm happened on the day, but there's no evidence of it hitting a building. The current theory is a gas line blew and started the fire. And then the hotel frenzy. I changed the word here. The frenzy caused an old building from the ancient era to be demolished, and the land became the Sands Casino. At the same time, the Sands branched out, laid out the foundations, and built the Sands Hotel at the same time. The James Museum opened for the first time. The opening was a big deal, however, fire later burnt the building down. They decided to expand. And I've changed up the way it was worded. For example, another big idea was the rise of the above and below casino builds. I forgot that this was the last time it was ever built, but I've sort of changed my mind on that wording. This era also has the old roller coaster fix-up that we see in the semi-current era that we're in is the modern era. And this is where it changed. This era took a halt after that, but returned when the Flatiron Building was built. The modern era is mainly defined by the Olympics, with the Olympic Stadium over there. That happened in 2080 and 3000. Another big thing was the mob wars. I think I've changed up the text a little bit. By accident, the default mob level was increased and there was a big war. This war led to the discovery of Mob Island after soldiers arrived on the island. When the war ended, many built their homes on the island. All these builds exist today, led to the apartments, the rise of the classical builds, the Victorian, the Georgian, what you just saw earlier. But these were lost time to occurrence to restore everything. This is the Two Sands Hotel, and that's the end of the book. And the end of this episode, because I've almost spent an hour recording.